Welcome to my channel. My last request for the day was the second highest vote getter, and it's Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, live 1992 in Bucharest. This was requested by Eric on the 5th of August of 2026. Like many of the Michael Jackson reactions, this will probably be blocked. But who knows? You don't know until you try. And so that's what I do. And of course, you know I love Michael Jackson. This is one of his greatest songs. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing this and watching him perform. That was a delight every time. Before we do any of that, though, I got to thank you for your support of my channel, for the comments that you might, for the love that you give me, for everything that you do to make this channel such a pleasure. Thank you so much. I always put the artist links in the description of their playlist so you can support them as well. But I put the link to the song that I'm reacting to in the description of the video. I also put a link in there from Wikipedia if I can find anything that makes any sense and is relevant. And I put the link to the reaction request form and the voting form as well. Those are on my website. You do have to be logged in, so if you don't have an account, go to wordpress.com and set one up. Then come to my site, log in, and you can make one request each day, and you can vote 3 times a day. So you can vote for 3 songs once each, or 1 song 3 times. Your choice. I live stream on Sundays for 4 hours, beginning at 6 p.m. UTC on Rumble. So if you come to Rumble at 6 p.m. UTC on Sunday, and you put a request in the chat, I'm going to react to it live. I also live stream on Fridays for about an hour, hour and a half on YouTube. I begin at 12 a.m. UTC. I call that God Talks. I talk about the Bible. I talk about Christian living, about walking by the Spirit. Take requests from, or questions, from the chat, which I'll try to answer if I can, and also prayer requests. So if you're interested in that, stop by YouTube at 12 a.m. UTC on Friday. So this is Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, live in Bucharest in 1992. Oh, okay. There's nobody like him. Yeah. I'm going to do something I've never done before, but I'm making a change on my channel. I suspect that this is going to get blocked for copyright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out, if it's caught for copyright, I'm going to cut out the video and leave the reaction so that you can see my reaction. Because I know that's what you care about. And so if the video gets cut out, it gets cut out. And then you'll just have to watch it on your own. But you can at least hear what I have to say about it. He was an incredible showman, incredible performer. You can see from the reaction of the crowd. This is in Bucharest, Hungary, for crying out loud. And yet they're going crazy over him. And they know the words to his song. And that's... Very few artists have that kind of reach. Very few artists have that kind of impact. But he had that worldwide. He was absolutely incredible. And the world is not a better place for his absence. It's not. We would have been better off if he'd have survived. But it was not to be. But, oh my God, and the words of the song, I mean, just think about it. If you're going to make a change in the world, it has to start with you. How true is that? How absolutely accurate. How absolutely profound of a statement. If you're going to make a change, it has to begin with you. It has to begin with each of us. just, golly. I love his voice. I love his dancing on stage. I love his presence. I love the way that he moved and the way that he sang, and the when he was singing, those just added to it. It was all a package that was just unbelievable. It was so far beyond anything that we'd ever seen, and maybe that we ever will see, who knows. But I mean, he was one of a kind. He was one of a kind. I just am so amazed by him, by his talent and his persistence and his willingness to put himself out there and his willingness to go all over the world to spread his message of love. The only one I can think who even comes close to matching him is Dimash. And Dimash has a similar impact on people, even though they don't know the language that he speaks. But Dimash isn't going through the normal, music route that Michael did, and so he doesn't get the recognition or the fame, if you will, that Michael did. But Michael had to fight his battles too. Just to own his own music, he had to fight battles. But gosh, unbelievable, absolutely incredible, fantastic, wonderful, best there ever was. That was Michael Jackson. What a fantastic performance. Wow. And then when he went jetted off at the end, wow, that was like over the top. That was absolutely fantastic that he did that. Wow. Gosh. How fantastic was that? That was just the greatest. It really was. Oof, that was him in his prime. That was when he was at his best. Well, that's the end of the show for today, so I do have to say goodbye. But before I do, I want to pray for you that God will give you the greatest night's sleep you've ever had in your life. I know I pray for that every day, but I mean it. That you have the greatest day, greatest night of sleep that you've ever had, and that tomorrow is the greatest day you've ever had. And that you continue that throughout your life so that your life is the greatest life you could possibly have. And I pray for that for all the people that you love as well. So until tomorrow, this is the Vietnam Era Vet, signing off.